This is the story of Amelia Carter, a go-getter who had everything going for her. She had a decent job as an architect, a hot date tonight with the man who would soon become her fiancé, and plans laid out before her that stretched into a foreseeable and very bright future. It's hard to imagine how things could have turned out differently for her, or how they could have gotten any better, really. But one wrong turn on the highway and everything changed. It was a horrific car crash that took away more than just a part of her life. It stole her entire future. Her dreams were shattered, her confidence was gone, and the simple act of getting out of bed became a struggle. She felt like a burden to everyone around her, even herself. They thought it was the end for her. They thought the pieces of her shattered life could never be rebuilt. But what they didn't know was that sometimes the broken ones become the strongest. Hey there, this is the author, and today we bring you a new original story. Let's get started. The morning sun slanted through the windows of City General, painting stripes of gold across the stark white walls. In the far corner of the ward, machines beeped rhythmically, a soundtrack to the quiet drama playing out on the beds within. Doctors rushed about, their steps purposeful, their voices hushed, and in the middle of it all lay Amelia Carter, 26 years old, her body battered but her eyes wide open, eyes that have seen too much pain. The camera moves closer. We see a photograph of a smiling couple on her bedside table, their faces filled with a happiness that seems almost otherworldly now. The picture is of Amelia and her fiancé, Mark Roberts, whose engagement party she was on her way to when her life changed forever. The narrator's voice cuts in, rich, resonant. Amelia had everything: a career, a fiancé, and dreams so big they could light up a city. But life has a way of testing those who seem unshakable. And for Amelia, it all came crashing down in a single night. We flash back to that fateful evening. The air crackles with anticipation. Amelia and Mark are laughing, their eyes locked in a world of their own. Mark gets down on one knee, a velvet box in his hand. Tears well up in Amelia's eyes as she whispers, "Yes." The town is alive with celebration. The future stretches before them, a path paved with the golden bricks of their shared dreams. Then, in an instant, it's all ripped away. The screech of tires, the sickening crunch of metal. On impact, the world explodes into a kaleidoscope of pain and glass. Amelia wakes up disoriented, her body screaming in agony. Through blurry eyes, she sees the mangled wreck that was once her world. In a harsh whisper, the doctor delivers the news. Mark didn't make it. He died instantly. The guilt crashes over her like a tidal wave. Why did she make that coffee run? Why wasn't he driving? Why did she agree to that last-minute dinner? Weeks turn into months. Amelia's ordeal in the hospital becomes a blur. Broken ribs, broken bones, a broken spirit. The vibrant young woman that was Amelia seems lost, replaced by a shadow of her former self. The accident steals not just her love, but her confidence, her dreams, and her will to keep moving. Her friends stop visiting. Her family grows tired. They come from time to time, their faces creased with worry, their words carefully measured. She knows they're trying, but their pity is a fresh wound every time. Then one day a new face appears in the sea of white coats, Dr. Marcus Hall, a stern yet kind-eyed physiotherapist. His presence is like a jolt of electricity in her numb world. Where others see a hopeless case, Marcus sees potential. He challenges her, pushes her harder than anyone else. One particularly grueling session leaves Amelia crumpled on the floor, tears streaming down her face. Between gasps for breath, she cries out, "Why me?" Her question hangs in the air, unanswered, the silence deafening. Marcus kneels beside her, his gaze steady and kind. "You're not finished," he tells her, his voice a gravelly baritone. "Not yet. Not if you still have breath in your lungs." His words ignite a spark of defiance in her eyes. Maybe she isn't finished. Maybe she can find a way to rebuild the pieces of her shattered life. The road to recovery is long and painful. Every step is agony, every tear a reminder of what she lost. But with each fall, Amelia discovers something powerful. She isn't just fighting to walk again. She's fighting to live again. And then there's the art. As a child, Amelia found solace in sketching. It was her secret world where she could create anything she wanted. Now, surrounded by the stark white walls of the hospital, she begins drawing again. At first, it's just doodles, mindless patterns meant to fill the endless hours. Then she starts adding color, bold strokes that express the turmoil in her soul. Her accident left her with scraps of glass embedded in her skin, fragments that ache with every movement. An idea takes root in her mind. What if she could use those shards, not as reminders of her pain, but as tools to create beauty? With the help of her occupational therapist, Amelia begins creating mosaics out of the broken glass. It's painstaking work, but the results are breathtaking. Each piece of glass glistens, refracting the light into 1,000 rainbows. One day, a hospital administrator notices her work. Intrigued, he suggests an exhibition, a chance for Amelia to showcase her art and raise money for the hospital. Amelia hesitates, her confidence shattered by months of setbacks. But Marcus encourages her, believing in her more than she believes in herself. The day of the show arrives, and Amelia stands in front of her work, her heart pounding in her chest. The room is buzzing with people, the clinking of glasses mingling with lively chatter. Amelia's pieces are the center of attention, the shattered glass transformed into glowing masterpieces. A renowned art critic approaches her, his eyes gleaming with admiration. "Your work is remarkable," he says, extending his card. "I'd like to represent you." Tears well up in Amelia's eyes, tears of joy this time. She's not just a victim. She's an artist, a survivor. Looking around the room at the smiling faces, Amelia realizes the truth. She's no longer defined by her accident. Yes, it changed her, but it didn't break her. The world may have taken pieces of her, but those pieces formed a strength she never knew she had. As the night draws to a close and the crowds begin to thin, Amelia stands alone in the nearly empty gallery. The soft glow of the lights paints long shadows on the walls, and the silence is no longer deafening. It's peaceful. Suddenly she hears a cough. Turning, she sees a man standing in the doorway. His silhouette framed in the soft light, he looks at her, a question in his eyes. Gathering her courage, Amelia walks toward him, each step surer than the last. When they meet in the center of the room, he smiles, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "You were right," he says, his voice warm and familiar. "I never thought I'd see this day, but you are truly remarkable." It's Mark's brother, David, his tone a mix of surprise and admiration. He extends his hand to her, his grip firm. "I know this isn't easy," he says, his voice softening, "but I want you to know that Mark would be proud of you." Amelia's hands tremble, but she meets his gaze steadily. "I know," she whispers, her voice thick with emotion. "I miss him every day, but I'm trying to move forward." David nods, understanding in his eyes. "As would Mark," he says. "He loved you dearly." A comfortable silence falls between them, filled only by the soft murmur of voices from the next room. After a moment, David breaks the silence. "Would you like some company?" he asks, gesturing toward the door. "There's a nice little cafe around the corner. We could grab some coffee." Amelia hesitates, then smiles, a real smile that reaches her eyes. "That sounds lovely," she says, her voice regaining its strength. Together, they leave the gallery, stepping out into the soft glow of the evening sun. As they walk, Amelia feels a sense of calm wash over her. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: she's not defined by her pain. She's defined by her resilience. She was broken, but she was not finished. And that's the end of our story. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and share. And be sure to subscribe so you never miss any of our new releases. Until next time, keep being awesome.